Alright, Donald Trump has spent the past week assembling his cabinet, and it's like the idiot Avengers. When I think of RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard and Pete Hegseth and JD Vance all in one room, it's like the worst people you know squashed into one cabinet. But I don't even want to talk about the elected officials today. I don't even want to talk about the appointed officials. I want to talk about something that Vivek Ramaswamy calls unelected bureaucrats, people who are pulling the strings behind the scenes, who need to be drained, and we have a new unelected bureaucrat that is pulling the strings. His name is Elon Musk. Now we're hearing rumblings that he's overstaying his welcome. He's butting in to conversations that he probably shouldn't be butting into, and Donald Trump may be getting sick of him. Now I don't want to mislead you guys. In 6 months, Elon Musk will likely still be pulling the strings simply due to the power that he holds by owning X. He has the ear of Donald Trump, so he can persuade Donald Trump to pick certain cabinet appointments, but now Donald Trump has Elon Musk's ear, so Donald Trump can get Elon Musk to boost anything in the algorithm. It's like having state media, essentially. So Elon Musk isn't gonna just go away, but I do think his role will be diminished as his ego clashes with Donald Trump's ego, and as Twitter eventually loses power. I mean, go check out Blue Sky. Blue Sky is a new app that is replacing Twitter, but let's jump in. Before we talk about Elon Musk and his insane schemes behind the scenes, his $45 million ad buy that just got revealed recently, I want to talk about the election that happened a week or two back, because David Pakman just posted, Donald Trump is now, number one, below 50% of the popular vote. It is now 49.97% to Trump and 48.23% to Harris, so people keep calling it a landslide. But that's 1.5 percentage points. That's really nothing. And two, has a margin of the popular vote victory roughly half of Hillary's victory in 2016. Again, Donald Trump has a margin of popular vote victory roughly half of what Hillary's victory was in 2016, so they believe the left has to lay down and shut up because it's a landslide and it's a mandate, but it's really not a mandate. It's a pretty normal win, and it's a pretty normal win, especially in an environment where inflation was bad during the year 2022 and 2023. I mean, people are voting incumbent administrations out across the globe, so the fact that Kamala Harris only lost by 1.5 percentage points, it's not even a terrible loss. Here's Mehdi Hassan laying out how it wasn't a landslide. This is a valuable video.
If Harris had picked up just over 120,000 extra votes, 120,000, that's it, across the 3 blue wall swing states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, she would have won the Electoral College.
That's close.
And therefore the election. So not really a landslide then, as even people like me wrongly assumed on election night. Hey, but what about the popular vote? Well, number 3, as of today, Trump has won around 50% of the vote, leaving Harris with 48%.
Now, this was filmed about 1 or 2 days ago, so the numbers have updated, but the reason why it seemed so skewed was because on election night, California had counted maybe 3% of its votes, and California has a massive population, many dense cities with Harris voters, so over the past week, over the past 10 days, the votes have come in, and honestly, we probably should streamline the process in California. If it takes 14 days to count the votes, then something's messed up. But that brings us on to this bombshell Washington Post article that released today, and it highlights Elon Musk's his scheme to play with the election. And some of this stuff we knew. We knew that Elon Musk was targeting Muslim voters with ads saying that Kamala Harris was pro-Israel, and then Jewish voters with ads saying that Kamala Harris was pro-Palestine or pro-Hamas, but it goes even deeper than that. This reads, the Washington Post obtained details about a $45 million plan run by Elon Musk's advisors to target Black, Jewish, Muslim voters, and others with misdirection ads, often containing falsehoods about Kamala Harris's positions. And I want to break this down, then I want to break down how NBC News is reporting Musk has been so aggressive in pushing his views about Trump's second term that he's almost been stepping on the toes of certain Trump admin officials. But let's start off with the meddling. And people have been saying there's massive election fraud through Starlink. Guys, none of that happened. Starlink had nothing to do with the election. Those are all rumors propagated by foreign agents. There is no source saying that Starlink counted the votes. The voting machines were not even connected to the internet. It doesn't work like that. But what did happen is Elon Musk leveraged his vast amount of wealth to buy Twitter, and then he used Twitter to push stuff in the algorithm, and then he also used his wealth to buy ads that were just straight up disinformation. So no, Elon Musk did not steal the election through Starlink. That is insane, and that almost, it's a red herring. It obfuscates from the main point, because the main point is that Elon Musk has this massive media ecosystem underneath him. But let's read this. Muslims in Michigan began seeing pro-Israel ads this fall praising VP Harris for marrying a Jewish man. Again, Muslims in Michigan saw ads praising Kamala for marrying a Jewish man and backing the Jewish state. Meanwhile, Jews in Pennsylvania saw ads from the same group with the opposite message. Harris wanted to stop U.S. arms shipments to Israel. I mean, these are tactics that foreign adversaries take to divide Americans. They try to spread both Islamophobia and anti-Semitism and racism and misogyny, all of the above, so that Americans are more divided, but we have Elon Musk doing that. Elon Musk is the equivalent of a foreign agent now, and he acts as one basically. Another group promoted, quote, Kamala's bold, progressive agenda to conservative-leaning Donald Trump voters, while a third video filled the phones of young liberals with videos of how Harris had abandoned the progressive dream. It's conflicting ads in different states. For example, black voters in North Carolina were told Democrats wanted to take away their menthol cigarettes, but working-class white men in the Midwest were warned that Harris would support quotas for minorities and deny them Zyn nicotine pouches. The Zyn nicotine pouches are super popular, and Elon Musk ran targeted ads saying that Kamala Harris wanted to take away Zyns, but only targeted to the demographics that use Zyns primarily. What voters had no way of knowing at the time was that all of the ads were part of a single $45 million effort created by political advisors to Tesla founder Elon Musk, who had previously worked on the presidential campaign of Ron DeSantis. This is some grim stuff, folks. We have a lot of work to do. The project, funded with anonymous donations, micro-targeted messages across the battleground states, often with ads that appeared to be something they were not, a tactic the organizers sometimes referred to initially as false positives. And with digital spots, direct mail, text messages, and influencer marketing, and mobile billboards, the overall project was a high-tech experiment in misdirection. Everywhere you go, every website you open, if you're in a swing state and you're one of these key demographics, you are being bombarded with disinformation. But wait, you can't trust the mainstream media, so why don't you just go on X to get the real news? Nope, you can't trust X either. This is an old political tactic that has been sharpened in recent decades with increasingly precise targeting techniques and technology. So ads tested better if Muslims felt they were seeing a message meant for Zionists. Bernie bros felt they were hearing from the far left in these ads. So the ads acted like they were groups from the far left targeting Bernie bros. The Zyn bros felt they were hearing from activists who wanted a world without gas-powered vehicles and a ban on fracking and affordable housing for undocumented Americans. Literally imagine average frat bros being tricked into thinking that Kamala Harris is some sort of extremist who wants affordable housing for only undocumented Americans. Quote, the worst part is Kamala Harris talks out of both sides of her mouth, said one of the ads, which was designed by Trump supporters to look as if it was advocating for leftist priorities. But the question that we need to ask is, how long can this coalition stay together, and can it even stay together? For example, Donald Trump relied on a bunch of low propensity voters who were simply dissatisfied with the economy and tricked by Elon Musk into thinking that Donald Trump was their best bet and that tariffs wouldn't hurt. But what happens when Donald Trump and Elon Musk split apart, when their egos drift apart? Will they last 6 months? Probably, it's possible, but will they last 4 years? Will Donald Trump and Elon Musk be able to maintain a relationship for 4 years, sharing the spotlight? Well, you tell me after we read this. NBC News wrote, quote, Musk has been so aggressive in pushing his views about Trump's second term that he's stepping on the toes of Trump's transition team and maybe overstaying his welcome in Mar-a-Lago, according to two people familiar with the transition who have spent time at the Palm Beach, Florida resort over the past week. The sources said that Musk's near constant presence at Mar-a-Lago in the week since Election Day had begun to wear on people who've been in Trump's inner circle longer than the tech billionaire and who see him as overstepping his role in the transition. The sources spoke on condition of anonymity because they're not authorized to speak publicly. And what we need to realize is that it is sort of a Game of Thrones-esque situation at Mar-a-Lago right now. Elon Musk isn't directly hated by Trump, but Elon Musk is hated by the people around Trump who have been there forever because he just randomly swooped in and has all of this power. There's jealousy. People get jealous of each other and want to vie for each other's positions. One of the sources told NBC News, quote, "He's behaving as if he's a co-president and making sure everyone knows it. And he's sure taking lots of credit for the president's victory, bragging about America Pac and X to anyone who will listen. He's trying to make President Trump feel indebted to him, and the president is indebted to no one." For the record, Trump-Vance transition spokesperson Caroline Leavitt, who's always just lying, said, "Elon Musk and President Trump are great friends and brilliant leaders working together to make America great again." That sounds like it came out of the spokesperson of Kim Jong-un, but according to multiple reports, Musk is everywhere you turn at Mar-a-Lago, from the resort's gift shop to nearly every meeting and meal with President-elect Trump. The constant presence is also extended to social media, where Musk calls himself the, quote, first buddy, the first buddy, and appears in photos with Trump's grandchildren. Political's Rachel Bade and Eugene Daniels wrote, "The bigger picture, however, is how Musk is starting to wear out his welcome with some in Trump's orbit. After initially making a huge splash with his endorsement made just moments after the July attempt on Trump's life, some insiders now say he's become almost a comical distraction, just hanging around Mar-a-Lago, sliding into high-level transition meetings and giving unsolicited feedback on Trump's personnel decisions." One insider told Politico, "Elon is getting a little big for his britches. So can the coalition stay together? And will Donald Trump's appointments even make it through confirmations? For example, Matt Gaetz is very unlikely to be confirmed. Pete Hegseth, also unlikely to be confirmed. Tulsi Gabbard might get confirmed, but what's the larger play here? I don't think Donald Trump is playing any sort of chess game. I think he actually wants Matt Gaetz as the AG, but one of his advisors, Susie Wiles, had to have told him, hey, this isn't going to work, this is going to backfire in some way, your cabinet's going to fall apart, but maybe Trump just didn't listen, in the same way that he doesn't listen when people say that tariffs are going to wreck the economy. For example, friend of the show Fred Wellman posted on Blue Sky Social from a friend, quote, "Someone I know had a meeting with a Trump agriculture transition team member. This person said, surely you're not going to impose tariffs on food imports. He responded, why wouldn't we? Again, the Trump agriculture transition guy said, why wouldn't we? And my person said, because about 30% of the food Americans regularly consume cannot be grown here, and this will cause widespread food shortages. Think coffee, cacao beans, many fruits and veggies, especially off-season and tropical. The Trump transition member said, maybe Americans shouldn't eat those foods." Wow, a crazy lack of empathy. I will leave it at that. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.